but he's due a price drop to 4.3 as well. There is genuinely some really nice 4.3 options maybe coming up.
You could pick up 3 4.3s and be okay with your team, to be honest.
Genuinely. Hopefully, if the button works, there it does. Let's run through this briefly because we spoke about this last game week on the pod. And this is the top 10 defenses. We'll look at the bottom 10 after. It's still Liverpool out on top for the best defense in the league for non-penalty expected goals against, which I think is the best metric for judging who we expect to keep clean sheets going forward. I know Liverpool don't have the best fixtures, but they have been the standout defense this season, both in underlying data and, some people, even if you don't like underlying data, they've kept 6 clean sheets. They're the only team who's done it in real terms as well, really. Other than maybe Man United and Forest are the only other 2 teams who have kept any significant amount of clean sheets.
Least goals conceded as well.
Yeah, for sure. 6 goals conceded in 11 games. That's really good. Really good. Who do you go for? The Robertson-Tsimikas situation is just too messy. Would not ever want to touch that. Van Dijk, I quite like. Quite like for the aerial threat, occasional goal to give you a nice surprise. Trent is likely to be out against Southampton. Could be back in game week 13. I think on a wild card you probably leave it. If you're not on a wild card though, you could keep him. Unless selling him allows you to make an upgrade elsewhere, like in your situation.
Well, the money that you can raise, it almost always will allow you to make an upgrade, right?
Well, it will allow a necessary one, I mean.
Like, if you need to pick up a Palmer, a Saka, a Salah, something like that, it makes it so much more comfortable. The big problem for me is he's going to miss Southampton. I just think he's going to miss Southampton.
Which is the best fixture of the lot coming up for Liverpool.
And if he misses that, it's just not worth having him, in my opinion, because they're probably going to concede to City. They're probably going to concede to Spurs.
That's fair. But it leaves us with Konate, who's the cheapest guy.
But you get 0 attacking threat.
I agree.
You get tricky fixtures.
There's some decent fixtures in there. But you get we say this. Okay, you're not going to go for Konate. Who do you go for then?
Okay, it's not Spurs they play Newcastle. Liverpool play Spurs. I'm going to try that again. Liverpool play Southampton, City, Newcastle, Everton, Fulham, and then Spurs. Presuming they probably concede to at least 4 of those, is it worth it?
Yeah. Because, who else are you going to go for? I think this is what it boils down to. There is no good defense. We can say, I think I'll go for Forest. They've got even worse fixtures, so much worse fixtures.
Like Lewis Hall.
What? So even I would back Liverpool to keep a clean sheet in a tough fixture more than I would back Newcastle to keep a clean sheet in an easy fixture.
That's crazy.
Is it?
That's a bit much. What, you'd back Newcastle to keep a clean? You'd not back Newcastle to keep a clean sheet against like a Ipswich or a Fulham over, okay, maybe not Fulham, but an Ipswich or a Southampton over Liverpool against City or a Newcastle?
Well, I mean, in the next 2, Newcastle play West Ham and Palace, and Liverpool play Southampton and City.
You could arguably see 2 Newcastle clean sheets. I don't know.
Okay.
It just doesn't. Konate just feels very suboptimal.
It's boring.
You're just,
that's what it is.
You're just going for the possibility of a clean sheet, and the possibility of a clean sheet probably isn't even that high because of the fixtures.
But who is it high for?
It's not high, but there's no get a bit of attacking threat in your team.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I 100% get that.
Get a bit of Kirkers, something like that. You know.
You know who else I'd looked at instead of Konate? De Ligt and Man United. If Man United are suddenly good, which I don't, it's not a guarantee, but if they are suddenly good, I think he's got a decent amount of set piece threat and better fixtures.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
similar price, 5 million for De Ligt.
Yeah, imagine I convince you to sell Konate and then he scores.
Yeah, I don't. Well, he's already got 2 goal contributions this season, which, by the way, I'm not expecting to happen again. Even if I do pick him, it's not for his attacking threat. Yeah, it's been an anomaly that he's got attacking returns. He's not that guy. He's just not that guy. But let's move on from Liverpool. I think Konate and Van Dijk, I do like.
Yeah,
in general. Forest, it's very difficult to touch them Sells you'd maybe go for but that's just because he's a goalkeeper, and you expect a goalkeeper to probably be in your team for the next 20 game weeks. So you don't just look at the next 5-10 fixtures. You look a little bit longer term. So there is some arguments for sells, but in the short term, you might find other goalkeepers could outscore him. Arsenal, I think a single Arsenal, they're third, by the way, on this list of best defenses. I think you could go for Arsenal. One Arsenal defender.
I think one.
Raya or Gabriel.
Yeah.
Probably. I think Raya is obviously cheaper, but you're probably not going to get too many saves from him. Probably not going to get bonus. Gabriel, you'll get the occasional goal, which will put a big old smile on your face for those game weeks where he does score. But I think Arsenal will keep more clean sheets moving forward. I don't think they're going to keep conceding every game. Like, surely not.
Yeah. No, I do back Arsenal defense. I mean, it's probably a bit differential to even go for two because nobody's going to be on that at the moment. But yeah, I think one Arsenal would be nice on a wild card. The fixtures are very good for quite a long time. So
next up in fourth place, probably a surprise. It's Chelsea,
Reece James,
or Sanchez, or Colwill.
Yes,
if we're being a bit more sensible. And then after that, Aston Villa. They again have they have okay fixtures, to be fair, but it's nothing crazy. Digne. I mean, it's more interesting than a Consa, which is really, really boring.
If Aston Villa defense has 100 haters, I have multiplied 200 people.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, but the data is good. So I don't know. If we're trying to make predictions about the future, then you would expect that Aston Villa do improve. Digne, a little bit of rotation risk, though. Consa is boring. Martinez is too expensive. So it's difficult to pick a guy out. Digne would probably be my favourite of the lot, but he's not foolproof. Then let's whiz through the next one. Man City, Luis Gvardiol, thing of the past, get rid. Fulham are in there. You can get Joachim Anderson for 4.3 million. Same price as Mikalenko.
Wow. Wow. Him or Robinson, very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Like them both. For Spurs, probably don't go there right now. Bournemouth are 9th, Newcastle in 10th. So we spoke about Kirkes, we spoke about Hall. Yeah, decent value for money picks. Really decent value for money picks. Going to the bottom end of the table, this is where things get interesting. So Everton in 11th, but they find themselves going up and up the table each week.
Yeah, they've climbed. They're almost top half now, aren't they?
Yeah, they were like bottom 3 5-6 game weeks ago.
Branthwaite.
It's the Branthwaite effect. He hasn't been playing every game, but it is the Branthwaite effect.
Even from the sidelines, spiritually, he does something.
Okay, I see. Brighton here in 12th. Now, they have got very good fixtures coming up, but I don't think they've convinced anyone defensively. However, they have spent periods of the season without Lewis Dunk and without Van Hecker, who are very important to their defence. From Brighton, we have the goalkeeper Verbruggen, 4.5. We have Lewis Dunk, who is 4.4 million right now, but he's due a price drop to 4.3 as well. There is genuinely some really nice 4.3 options maybe coming up.
You could pick up 3 4.3s and be okay with your team, to be honest.
Genuinely. Crystal Palace up next. Still not convinced by them. Then Manchester United, difficult to place right now because of the big change coming up. Then West Ham, Wolves, Brentford. These are the worst of the not newly promoted teams, really. And then Leicester, Southampton, Ipswich. I think in general, unless a player has significant attacking threat, like someone like Ait-Nouri, West Ham, Wolves, Brentford, Leicester, Southampton, Ipswich, you just avoid their defence entirely.
Yeah.
You can maybe throw Davis in there from Ipswich because, again, for the attacking threat, but we ain't touching them.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's this is my thing about like attacking threat versus expected clean sheet, right? I would prefer to have an Ait-Nouri or a Leif Davis, over a Konate or a Forest centre back at the moment, just because the fixtures are tricky. So you probably got a 1 in 3, 1 in 2 chance of getting a clean sheet. You probably got a 1 in 4, 1 in 5 chance of an attacking return with some of those fullbacks that I've talked about. So I'd probably just chase the upside a little bit.
Do you want to know some of the? I actually have this on my laptop right now. Do you want to know some of the highest expected goal involvements?
Go on then.
For defenders. let's go 6 game weeks. Get a recent idea. So the top players for expected goal involvements over the last 6 game weeks for defenders are Davis, Emerson, Collins, and Munoz, all on 0.3. So you expect a goal contribution from each of them. 0.3. So every 3 games, you maybe get something from
1 in 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
That's what I'm sort of expecting from a clean sheet perspective over the next 6 for Liverpool.
After that, we have the 0.2 lot. So 1 in 5 for these guys. Digne, Alexander-Arnold, Hall, who we mentioned, Robertson, Gahey, Van de Ven, Pinnock, Gusto, Harwood Bellis, Pedro Porro, Udogie, Dallo, Senesi, Aitnori, Tarkovsky, Alex Moreno. That's it. No Gavardio mentioned so far, by the way.
Gavardio just slaps it from outside the box, man. Like, the guy's just got a shot on him.
Also, no Robinson either.
Interesting.
And no Gabriel. And more importantly, no Konate.
Of course.
But also no Kirkes mentioned so far. These players are all much lower down the list. But there are definitely some players that have attacking threat. I think Hall is one of my favourites right now.
Yeah, I sold him on Wildcard.
Did you really? Of course you did. Yeah, because it was not looking good for Hall. Like, for a while we were saying, what is Blood doing in your team still? And now we're like speaking up, oh, Lewis Hall, yeah, he could be nice.
My entire Wildcard team is just going to become that.
Yeah. The fact that he's 4.3 million does help, in fairness.
Well, I bought him at 4.5.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to buy him for 4.3. So, no, I don't know if I'll go for him. Because like I said, Lewis Dunk and Anderson as well for 4.3. If we can get those for those prices, that's pretty nice as well. I guess we'll see. All right. Well, let's circle back.